Another game-sealing interception in an NFC Championship game.
Right.
Can you kind of walk us through the moment?
Well, they ran a corner post. We were in quarters. I just kept running. I knew it wasn't necessarily my responsibility, but I knew he was going to take the shot there and go for the gusto. So just wanted to track the ball down, give us a chance. I was tracking it. I thought it was kind of out of my reach for a while, so I was going to go for the bat down. And then as I got my feet under me, I noticed I can get under it, and I was able to do it.
Richard, what makes this so special for you? You're obviously seems like you're pretty emotional, and why is this where you guys are so special?
Well, it's a long road, man, and it's a lot of work that goes into it. It's a lot of things that you don't see, a lot of unspoken things, a lot of work away from the cameras. You guys see the games. You don't see the hours and hours of work, the hours and hours of study, the hours and hours of treatment, pain, overcoming pain, the nights at home you don't even get to spend with your kids because you're just trying to get your knee back or your hamstring back or your back, and your kids, sitting there rubbing on you, trying to make you feel better. People don't understand the sacrifice that goes into being great at this game. They see the games and they're like, oh, they won or they lost, but regardless, guys sacrifice. Those guys in Green Bay, they put a lot of sacrifice into it throughout the season. They deserve to be there. They earn their right to be there, and it. No matter what, win, lose, or draw, you sacrifice. You give up your body, you give up your time, you give up your health, you give up your mind. You're usually somewhere between going psychotic and you're locked in. You know what I mean? Because it's such an edge, it's such a crazy edge you got to be on. So that's why it's a little emotional. You're 9, you get to appreciate it a little more.
Richard, you guys have won games a lot of different ways this year, but here in the postseason, it seems like you've gotten back to the kind of the complementary thing. What is it about this style with the defense and the run game that works so well in the postseason?
Well, it's just Kyle and Salah. They designed this thing perfectly. You know what I mean? People sit there and say, "Oh, well, you don't have a great back. We have a stable of great backs. You don't have a great receiver. We have 4 great receivers, 5 great receivers. You know what I mean? We have great tight end play. It's about people fitting your system, fitting what you do." And I think that's sometimes where people get confused. They're like, "Oh my God, these guys have all pros here and all pros there." That's for the media. You know what I mean? If you could pick the perfect people for what Kyle does, you'd pick the guys we got, and that's over just about anybody in the league. And you can see why. Raheem freaking still playing special teams and ran for 200 in the NFC Championship. There's a ton of elite backs that have come through this league and played in big games, and I can't remember a back going for that much. And he's unheralded, but he's perfect for the scheme. He's perfectly built and designed to do what Cal needs him to do. And for some people, in another scheme, he may not be effective. He may be a regular Joe, but in this, he's one of the best backs in this league. And that's what you can appreciate, that Kyle and John and Salah and Hightower, they picked the guys that they wanted specific. They're very specific about their wants and needs. Deebo Samuel, could he do what he's doing in this offense and another offense? Who knows? But that's why Kyle picked him. He knew what he was looking for. He knew what he wanted him to do, and he's thriving.
Did you switch it up on them by playing a little bit more on the right side?
Yeah, I mean, I did what my coach told me to do. Plan was to play over there for a few series to just give them something to think about, and then go back to our normal status quo defense, and I think it worked. I think there was a few plays in there. They ran double moves where I think they wanted me to be on the other side, and I was on that side. There were plays where I think we confused them just with where we were on the field and how I was moving. But it was fun, man. It's always fun to play and mix it up a little bit.
Asked Jimmy Ward how long he was going to wait before he started looking ahead to Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, and I figured he'd say, 24 hours. He said, tonight. I'm going to go home and watch it tonight. Right. Do you expect that kind of outlook from you guys? Yeah,
I mean, guys aren't just happy to be here. Guys are playing to win. So guys are going to treat it like a game they're trying to win. They're not sitting here like, hey, my God, let's celebrate. We're in the Super Bowl. Why go if you're not trying to win? So we're going to prepare for a great opponent. They have a prolific offense, a great quarterback, a great freaking trio of receivers, a good back, a good old line. So we have a huge challenge, and we look forward to that. You would have it no other way. A great offense, a great team, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Seems like Shanahan's a step ahead all the time.
Obviously, the 7-day, and we talked about that, didn't mean anything, et cetera. But was there a level of confidence that you matched up well with the Packers?
Yeah, there was a ton of confidence. We took our starters out in the fourth quarter of that game. It could have been worse, and we knew that. I think they were trying to pump themselves up. They were trying to hype themselves up, throughout the talking about a revenge game, like they weren't coming in with an advantage into that game. We were coming off of a battle with Seattle, and they were coming off a bye. And so saying payback and saying, when you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So it's not they're trying to hype themselves up like, man, we're going to be ready this time. You weren't ready the first time, and that was in front of the whole country. That was a Sunday night game. It wasn't like it was a game, just a middle of the day, 1 o'clock game. And I really, it kind of bothered us a little bit. They're like, oh my God, we're going to be ready this time. Like you weren't ready. Like, do you not take games seriously? When do we not take games seriously in the regular season? If you would have won that one, you would have had the 1 seed. You would have been going to Green Bay. But hey, it wasn't that big a deal. You were going to be ready this time. But story for a different day.
Sherman, can you talk about the balance between the fun that everybody has in the locker room versus the seriousness that happens on the field?
Yeah, I mean, we keep it fun. We keep it loose. I think there were a few people that came into our locker room for the first time throughout the week, and they were like, man, this is the loosest locker room. You would think this isn't a winning team. But that's the difference. That's the difference when you're confident, when you know what you're playing for, when you know what you're doing, when you're locked in. You don't have to sit there serious and worry and sit there with anxiety. You can enjoy. You can let your hair down because you're putting the work in. You put the work in every single day, and you're prepared. Now, when you're not prepared and you're nervous, you sit there locked in, quiet. No music in the locker room. Let's be locked in. But that's not our team. We got a bunch of guys who enjoy this game and play it in a way that brings us all a lot of joy. The receiving core especially, they're a fun group. And they're enjoying the ride, but they're still locked in. They're making huge plays.
Hey, Richard, what kind of perspective can you put on being back on the big stage for yourself personally and for your team to carry forth to Miami?
Well, it's always awesome. It's awesome to fight hard, and everybody wants to be standing at the end, but it doesn't matter unless you win the game. It could be the best day in your life if you win. It could be the worst day if you lose. And that's the perspective that I'm going to keep putting through to these guys as somebody who's been there before, who's won and lost. We got to put in the work. It's not a holiday. It's not a vacation. I'm sure it'll be good for the families. It'll be cool for everybody's experience. Get their phones out, get the Instagram videos and all that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a challenging game, and it's going to be a dogfight.
Richard, do you think you mentioned about respect last week? Do you think after today's victories is a respect increase, or where's that now?
Nah. I don't think the respect increase. I think we got to go out there and we got to win one more. And even then, I don't know if the respect to be there, but it doesn't matter. You get the trophy. All right, thank you.
6 years from this day, you were going to an NFC Championship. What's the difference here? How do you feel going in this time?
This is what happens when you let your brother in the interview. 6 years ago, it was a different team. It was a different feel. We had an incredibly talented team, and I feel the same about this team. It's incredibly talented. We have a great coaching staff. We have talented weapons all around. I'm just a little older. They call me uncle now. Back then, they didn't call me uncle. I was a young pistol starter, and now I'm year 9. So it's a different feel for me. You appreciate things a little more. My son gets to see me play. My son gets to go to the Super Bowl. My son's birthday is 3 days after the Super Bowl, and he wants a ring for his birthday. And, I'm going to do my best to try to bring that to him. Thank you.